All right. So welcome to Elevate Today podcast, where we elevate one podcast at a time. Today I have with me someone that I've recently gotten very close with these last couple months, and someone that I've allowed to really just hype me up, speak into my life, and who's someone who's been a motivational factor in my life that's been getting me excited about this podcast, about facing different obstacles, and someone who I believe should truly be sharing advice on Elevate Today podcast. I welcome you. Sisca, welcome to the show.
Woo! I'm so excited to be here. What a nice intro that was.
Yeah, I'm still working on my intros and my closers, and they're changing every time.
Well, good job. That was good.
Yes, so let's get straight into it. Something that I really did want to have a big emphasis on and get a chance to talk to you about is the fact that you are a new mom.
Yes, I love it. My daughter is 1.5 years old. Her name is Mila, of course, Mila Marie. And she's just the best thing that's ever happened to me. Honestly, being a mom, I feel like in my culture, the way that we were growing up, it comes natural to the women. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of mother figures growing up. I had a sister and my mom who had my little brother, and I have a shit ton nieces and nephews, so I was changing diapers really early. So when Mila came along, everything just came so natural. I think I was ready to be a mom at the time anyways. Just like the best thing ever.
How old were you when you found out you're pregnant?
I was 20. Well, how old am I at right now? I was 25.
Oh, okay. That's a good age.
25, yeah. I can't think right now.
So you're also a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been a single mom for?
A little under a year.
So pretty much your whole baby life.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into that. What are your favorite things about being a single mom, and what are your worst favorite things about being a single mom?
I hate being a single mom, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I do. It's something that I wasn't expecting, but it's something that has made me grow into my independency that I'm at right now. It's actually brought me to have a lot more structure, a lot more discipline and organization. So it was kind of one of those harsh realities that I had to face in the long run. But I'm here now and just taking it day by day. Everything is not going to be perfect. Yeah. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. I'm still learning. I'm only a year and a half into it. So, but for where I'm at right now, I'm striving. I think.
Literally, yeah. And I feel like, I know a lot of single moms. My best friend's a single mom. And you're one of the most impressive single moms I've seen, because you make it seem really easy and nonchalant. And I'm like, how do you maintain your friendships, your sense of self? And even this past year, as you've been raising a 1-year-old, I feel like you've had this you're elevating, you're on this spiral up where things are just going good for you, even though you're balancing so much and managing a whole nother human being and figuring out how to raise this child in a crazy world. So I'm impressed with how you do it. You make it look very easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, but everything but easy. But at the end of the day, you're raising, like you said, another human being, so you just kind of have to put your big girl panties on and face every day head on, no matter what, for that little girl. And seeing her smile at the end of the day just makes it all worth it. So she's learning, I'm learning, our families are learning to cope, with this new situation. But I think for right now, we're at a steady pace, and we're going to keep it that way.
What are some things that only single moms understand?
Grocery store outings.
Really?
Grocery store outings, maybe in and outs of the car. you have like 10 bags with you at all times.
Seen that.
Your car becomes your third closet.
Yes.
Yes. Everything that I just said is like, yeah.
That's actually so true. All of those, like even the In-N-Out.
Oh yeah.
I went with my friend to In-N-Out, and I'm just like seeing how she functions and manages, and I'm like having a hard time watching one baby, and she's got two, and I'm just like, how do you do
They're
this?
so cute, by the way.
I know those.
Oh my
those
gosh,
are pretty
they're
much
the
my boys. I love
cutest.
those little things. And these people will be like, "Oh, good job," and I'm like, "Do you normally get hyped up when you're like with your boys?" And she's like, "Yeah, someone will say like, good job, mom."
Right.
And I'm like, well, that
She's
makes
doing
sense.
a
You're
good
doing
job.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like one starts screaming, the other one wants ketchup, and then you're just like, and I'm like, whoa.
And you know what the funny thing about that is, how you were just saying, you know, we're like so we're hecka hyping her up because she's such a great mom, Jessica. Shout out, Jessica. You know, that's funny that you said that too, because this whole single mom journey, one thing that has actually helped me get along all the way is watching other single moms. My Instagram feed is popping with single moms. And some of them I've known since high school, some of them I've known just in the past few months or whatever. I don't know what it is, but to me the single mom gang is really killing it.
Yeah.
They've just been so inspirational, honestly, and just seeing, you know, the stories that I see every day, you know, the little dates, the play dates, the nail salon trips, you know, all the matching outfits. Like, it's just, that's the fun part of, you know, all of it. But this one girl in particular, I did go to high school with her. She posts like the most raw stuff, like her breastfeeding in the car with the kids napping in the back. Like, you know, she's recording like all this, like, you know, 4:00 in the morning, cleaning the kitchen, like, you know, just got the baby down. And that's the stuff that I'm like, okay, like I could really fucking do this. Like, you know, like this is like, it's just been an extra push, honestly, that I've gotten to see, and it's just really helped me. I don't know. Yeah. It's nothing about seeing it, you know.
It's crazy the little things that you guys deal with consistently. Like, you guys are a different kind of warrior, because you're the one that chose to I'll be there for the child at all costs. And I'm going to be the one that's inconveniencing myself as an honor, as a privilege, doing all these like multitasking things that no one sees. And I love it too when moms are transparent about that stuff, because it's tough.
It gives you such a raw reality of it all.
And you're the ones raising the next generation. Yeah. That's the next generation.
I think that's such a crazy part to think about too. It's like literally we're raising the future, and we used to hear it like in school when we were kids, but we were just never like, like whatever, you know. Nobody pays attention to that stuff. And then now it's just like, oh God, I'm really raising the future. So and especially in today's like culture and today's society, everything is just literally evolving day by day. So you could just never keep up.
You can't.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So how do you plan on I actually did a podcast with Coach Murph, and we were talking about this balance of parenting, how you can either be a really strict parent, maybe like mine growing up, where a lot of the things like you can't do this and you can do that, and a lot of what you do is monitored, and just really protecting their upbringing, especially in the society we live in today. And then but at the same time, eventually your child wants to rebel and experience this crazy life, which maybe you've seen in me and my siblings a little bit. And then there's this other side where the parents are like, oh, do whatever you want, have this, have that, experience this, live your life. And then you see them getting into crazy stuff. But it's like, well, they're being honest with their parent. They got to go through it eventually.
Right.
Pros and cons. Where do you lie?
Oh, that's a good one, because honestly, everything that you said, I feel like I've experienced it all. My culture growing up was strict. I wasn't allowed to pay my fingernails until I was 13.
It's a different level of strict.
I wasn't able to cut my hair, color my hair until I was like 16, 17.
Yep.
Yeah, my dad was very strict on us, but he was also very understanding. We're very close, our family, so it wasn't hard. How do you say this? It wasn't hard to be honest. Mm-hmm. When I was 17, I started going through a bunch of like high school, I'm gonna start ditching school kind of stuff. And up until that point, I was like, I loved school. I was always going to school. I was always doing good, and I feel like everybody experiences that stage once before or after whatever time. I don't know. I would say it's very different now than what I was raised with. Mm-hmm. Now it's everybody can do whatever the hell they want to do. Me, I was scared to come home past the street lights.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't. So, that wasn't a thing for me, but yeah. I heard that.
It definitely, the culture nowadays is
it's going to be fascinating to navigate raising a child in that world.
It's going to be hard.
It's like you're racing the media, you're racing society, because there's things you're going to want to teach your kid, but hey, they already know if they have a phone. They already know if they have an iPad. Mm-hmm. There's going to be things that I'm going to want to tell Jericho, but as soon as he talks, he'd be like, I already saw that on YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is a new thing. But that's... What is that? It's YouTube, but in real form, in TikTok form. Oh. Yep, I'm studying that stuff. Jericho literally uses it, and that's where I'm starting to post the podcast.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. My point is, I think parents don't realize how fast their kids are getting exposed to things. Right. And if they don't, the first way they get exposed to it is going to be how they see it as normal. Mm-hmm. So, like I was telling my sister that eventually I'm going to talk about sex on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And she's like, why would you want to talk about that? Why would you want to go into that? And I'm like, because this podcast isn't about me. It's not about my comfort. And it's not about me like talking about things I've been through. It's about helping people with real difficult things that they're facing.
Like real life shit.
Otherwise, they're going to discover on their own, in their own way, through social media, and not have a healthy introduction to it, and end up with trauma and really just broken situations because they didn't have a healthy introduction to it.
Right.
And that's how I feel, because parents aren't doing it fast enough. I'll learn media so that I can help people be exposed to the right thing fast enough.
Yeah.
Because as a parent, it's like half the stuff I learned from my cousins.
Right. And then at that point, it's just like, okay, well, what's true and what's not true?
Exactly.
That's very interesting that you said that.
Mm-hmm. Something for you to think about.
Right.
For Mila. But I already know, like, because of how much life you've experienced, you're going to have a really healthy balance. Mm-hmm. Like, that she's going to have curiosity. She's a baby, It's so funny. She's a baby right now. But she's going to have curiosity to try things. But you've lived such a complete life experience. You've been in such different zones of life that you know how to, like, give her wisdom to make the decisions without being naive, I guess.
Mm. That was deep.
Yeah, I stay there,
That's a funny.
All right, rapid fire questions.
Rapid.
Are you ready?
Shoot 'em.
What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you to be Chamorro?
The first thing that comes to mind is loyalty.
Really?
Yes. And that's just the first thing that came to mind. That was just the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how has that influenced your childhood? Like, being raised, how do you think you were, like, raised culturally or not so much?
Fuck yeah, I was raised culturally. Yeah.
Did you get spanked?
Oh, heck yeah. And the funny thing about that is, too, is like, it was normal. You know, it was normal for us. That was like, you know, you fuck up, you're getting the belt. You go pick out your own belt, and then I'm gonna whip your ass. Like,
Gosh.
you know, but now it's like, no, you're forbidden. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just our Guamanian culture, like how I was raised in our family. And my mom was born over there. And my dad was born over there. I'm not sure if they're from the same island, though. I never asked them. I have to do my research on that part.
Yeah.
Well, not the same island, the same section of the island, because the island is
like
literally
so
the
small.
size
To me,
of
it's
San
all the
Jose.
same. Yeah.
From what I heard. I've never been there before, but I'm dying to go.
Yeah.
But the culture is just so strong. It's so strong. Like, togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, when I think of loyalty, I think of like the togetherness, and I think about how close my family is. And when I say that it was easy to be truthful, I really freaking mean that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was always like, okay, what happened at school today? You know, like what happened at work? Like, I was never alone. There was always somebody to run to, always. Mm-hmm. And they were there for you all the time, in your corner, right or wrong. And I feel like that also played a big role in my other life relationships and stuff like that. I feel like I'm a very loyal person.
Yeah.
I know I am. And so for me, that's also something that, you know, just comes natural. Mm-hmm. So cultural wise, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't go back and change how I was raised, because, you know, with culture comes respect. And that's also another thing that comes with loyalty, you know, the respect of, you know, your elders, your sisters, your brothers, you know, all that stuff comes in one package. Mm-hmm. And I don't see a lot of that nowadays.
Exactly.
I don't see a lot of that nowadays.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I'll meet Chamorros in different places. Like, I've been meeting a lot recently, and that's why when I know them, I try to keep that culture alive and make sure they know I got you. Like, we need to keep that blood alive, have each other's back. And I sense that with people that I know that are reaching out to me like, hey, yo, there's this opportunity, or just encouraging me with whatever, or like literally giving me hugs when I just met them because of that blood. Like, the Chamorro culture, it's almost dead because of how many of us are, you know, getting whitewashed and just
for real.
I mean, I'm only a quarter Chamorro,
literally,
but I act like I'm more.
Right. And I feel like once when we say we're Chamorro, I swear we're full breed. You know, and we mean that shit with our hearts.
Yeah.
Like, you know, our roots dig way down deeper. Yep. You know, we may be half breeds, but I feel like I'm a full motherfucking, you know.
Yes.
Chamarita.
I know. I hate it when they ask how much.
I know.
I'm like, enough. Yeah. Calm down.
I know. It's like, oh, God. It's so nerve-wracking.
But you feel it when you feel it.
Yes.
That's when you know. Like, when I meet a Chamorro, like, pretty fast, I can be like, you're not that Chamorro.
Yeah. And that's just from where, you know, the certain backgrounds that, you know, we come from.
Yeah.
That's really funny that you said that.
Yeah, I mean, it means so much to me. Like, that's why, like, cultural pride is so important, because it's who we are. Like, the fact that you're loyal, that's because of this tribal way to always have your own taken care of, to look out for each other. That's a tribal way.
Yeah.
The society we live in right now is individual way. As long as I'm okay, that's all that matters. And as long as I'm okay and you're okay, then we can mutually be okay together. But it's like, if you're down, I'll be down with you because I got your back. But when you're up, I want you coming up with me too.
Right.
And sometimes it's not always going to be that way, but that's like that love that you have for your people. And I try to,
loyalty.
It's that loyalty,
you know?
and that's the same way I want to have with my friends of different cultures, and just be like, sharing that same, hey, I got you. You know, when you're low, I'm low. If you need to get on a phone call and need someone to be there for you, I'll be there for you, and I'll inconvenience myself, because that's our Chamorro way.
And you know what's so funny when you say that? Now I can go more into it. growing up, my parents would give people like the clothes off their back. I swear, like, you know, like, you need something, I got you. Like, you know, I just grew up seeing that. Like, my mom would always be helping out for, like, you know, whether it was a ride or, you know, can you braid my hair, or can you watch the kids, or, you know, like, I need a place to stay, like, whatever the case was. You know, my mom would cook hot meals without even being asked, you know, like, feed everybody in the whole damn house.
Your
like,
mom can
friends
cook.
friends,
you can cook.
yeah,
Shoot.
anyone, you know. And my dad was just like the most, I think, generous person that I know. So, you know, he has a huge heart, and that's always something that I have treasured and cherished about him, and my parents, you know, just that strong, like, I got your back type shit, you know. And that's the culture, you know. That's just their culture, you know. You don't ever, you know, if you can help out, you help out, you know. If you see something that needs to be fixed, fix it, you know. The shit that you do that without being asked, you know, you are that. So,
and you got to keep that because you've seen it.
Yes.
Like, what you like in your parents, you take that and you become everything, because that's how you keep it going. That's how you live out their legacy.
Because if you act up out in public, I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna whoop your ass, because that's not how I raised you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. When does that end?
I don't think it ever ends, because you know what? I was just experiencing that with Mila at the grocery store.
Oh, really?
I was like, put it back, put it back, put it back. Like, and she was telling me no. And I was like, girl, I know you ain't telling me no in the middle of this damn store with all these people looking at me. Oh, God. I was like, oh my God. I was like, we gotta go.
Oh, shit. Have you spanked her in public yet?
No, I'm scared. Motherfuckers be calling the cops and shit.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh. By the time I have kids, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Because if I got to spank them, like, I'm not going to wait till they get home by the time they forget.
Or you just give them that look. Like, motherfucker, you wait.
I'll give the look.
Yep.
I have been practicing my look.
That look? I feel like you would have a very scary look.
Yeah.
Because your face is so soft. So, like, when you see mom tripping, like, she said tripping.
Yes. That's why I only use it sometimes. Like, only few people know when I have, like, the look. But I try to save it. Sometimes I, like, would be like, hey, want to see the look? But that's actually why the podcast cover isn't, like, a smile. I did think about it. It's not like a smile. It's more like a serious face, because
we really get into this.
Because we're getting into it. It's not going to be like, hey guys, we're going to talk about
our feelings.
How we're going to grow in our feelings. It's going to be like, no, let's
our feelings. Let's really talk about our feelings. You really want to talk about our feelings? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm down. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's fall season, so
next question. No, just kidding.
No, we can always go into our feelings, but that's something that we'll go into this right now. Being a ambitious, cultured woman, it's very fascinating learning how to talk about your feelings.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I'm around guys a lot because I'm at the gym all the time. And so it's really nice because I don't want to talk about my feelings because it hurts. And so I don't have to. We just train and we work out. And then the girls I'll hang out with are like probably gym girls too. So we won't really talk about our feelings there either. But every once in a while, I'll like get with my girlfriends and I'm like talking out my feelings. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this hurts. Like, can you not say that? Like, can we not? Let's go on a walk or work out. But when I talk to you, I feel like this. Oh, okay. This is normal. Shoot. I got it in the bag. Like, I don't got to trip. I don't got to be sad. I don't have to feel bad for myself because it's a different energy, because I know you get what it's like to feel, but also have to front and be tough all the time.
Oh God, girl, don't even talk to me about that. If anybody really knows me, I'm the biggest crybaby ever. I'm a Cancer, honey.
Oh gosh. God. If you cry though, like, that's if you cry. If you're not crying, you're like, I used to you have this really no one can mess with me face.
I used to be, I know. Somebody was just telling me that the other day. They're like, yeah, Sisca, you have a hard shell on the outside, but then inside your hell is soft. And I'm like,
but
okay.
Is that not every girl that has a hard shell? Like some shells just get bigger and they learn how to hold their front a little longer.
It definitely is. I feel like for some girls it comes natural, you know. For some girls I feel like they can't help but show their feelings.
Yeah.
You know, that's like their way of going through the motions, you know, that's their way of getting through shit. But, you know, a lot of the times in our society, we don't want to show our feelings because we're simping. We're simping. Oh, there you go. Yeah, or we're sad, or we're whatever the fuck they say nowadays.
Yeah, no, that's why I like just hanging out with you, listening to a few songs and being like, this is how I feel. Okay. It hurts, but it's there, and there's a song about it, and we can go on with our life.
Right, because if there's one thing that I've learned, honestly, in the last 6 months of my life, it's you have to feel all your feels. You know, if you just go through life and you put your hard shell on all the freaking time, it's gonna get exhausting, and that shit's gonna eat you up inside. And that's exactly what I experienced. Like, I was such in a tight bubble with all my emotions, with family, with work, with a child, with money, with whatever, you know. And I just I was forced to put on a hard shell, you know. I was forced to, you know, put on a smile on my face every day and, you know, go through the motions. But you know what? You can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
You can only do that for so long, and you're only hurting yourself. So I'm a Cancer. I'm going to tell you, feel all your damn feels, because, you know, you're never going to get over shit if you're just bury it, you know. Part of that is, you know, maturing and growing and realizing, you know, if something's not going your way, you know, something's not going how you want it to be, some shit, you gotta change shit up.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just sit there and wait for the world to turn. You know, you gotta move. And you gotta count all those victories, big and small, you know. That was one of the, like I said, you know, I've been watching all these single moms, you know, and it doesn't even have to be single moms. Like, honestly, like I said, my Instagram feed is popping. Like, people are really, like, you know, inspirational right now. Yeah. Like, on I feel their that inspirational too. Shit, you know. As much crazy bullshit as there is going on right now, I feel like a lot of people right now are, just on some really, like, crazy inspirational shit. And so, you know, one of the things that somebody had told me this past few months was that count all the victories, big and small, and keep moving. Just it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter, you know, if it's a phone call, a text message, you know, that's gonna lead into a job opportunity or an interview or whatever, you know, the case is, you have to keep moving. Yeah. You know, and that's what I tell myself every day. And being able to evolve from where I started, you know, first becoming a single mom, I just felt so alone. I just felt so lonely. And going through the motions, feeling all my feels, and being okay with it all, accepting the harsh realities, of course, you know, which comes in growing. That takes a lot, you know. You have to swallow some hard pills that, you know, you didn't want to swallow before. But that's like a bridge, you know. Just keep going, keep moving, keep doing this, keep doing that, because in the end it's all worth it. And I think right now I'm much more headstrong than I was before. I stopped letting things get to me. I stopped listening to the little things. I kind of just, a lot of self-love, a lot of I was like talking to myself. Yeah. It sounds helps. Weird, but it really does help. I started doing journaling again. I found this really cool journal, and it had one of my favorite sayings on it, and it says, not all those who wander are lost. And that just like captures my soul, because I think the first time I seen it was a couple years ago on a sticker on a car. And I was like, oh my God, like, because I was at the time I saw it, I don't know, going through bullshit. And I just like, where does it end? How can I get past this? Like, where am I going from here? And I was like, not all those who wander are lost. Okay, I'm gonna find my way now.
Dang.
You know, like, okay. I think a lot of the times we're faced with a lot of standards, maybe not standards, stereotypes. I don't know. I think, girls aren't supposed to feel their feels.
Yeah.
Guys are not supposed to show their feels, or they're not supposed to simp over girls. They're not supposed to do this. Society, I feel like we need to grow out of that.
Yep.
Like, it's 2022. It's about to be 2023 in a few months. Like, holy shit.
That's actually an observation I made when just with that point you made, how a lot of like the motivational people that I have on, like, that I listen to, for whatever reason, most of them are guys. And he's like, all right, guys, if you're gonna follow your mission, follow your purpose, don't date a girl. Date around. Don't just like simp over one girl. Don't be a bitch. Just date around and find your purpose. And once you find it, then be with that person. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I think I can resonate with that. It makes sense. But then I'm like, what? Like, my dad's is one of my biggest inspirations. And he got where he got with my mom right by his side. I don't think this whole do it all by yourself. And then once you get there, bring some girl around. I'm like, that's going to be hard, because you don't know if she likes you for your money or for what you've achieved, or if she likes you for who you are. And I just disagree with that philosophy. I understand it. I disagree with it, though. I think if you fall in love, you go with it, but stay ambitious, stay hustling. The right person will meet you where you're at.
I feel like that, too. I feel like that's one thing that I am very big on. It's like, you build with me. I love that idea of, building together, because I wouldn't want that, to be honest. I don't think I would want to like be so successful and then have somebody come along after the fact. I feel like it would make it that much more not important, but like more meaningful, like the build up, like how I got here, that journey. And I think, honestly, I just think guys are like scary. Not even like that, but just like how you said, like, date around and then find your purpose and stuff like that. Like, I think that just boggled my mind a little bit, and I kind of am going towards that idea. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, because I really want to do the right thing, and like after my breakup, gosh,
yeah,
I'm scared. But it's like, I don't want to do this such like secular new promoted idea of get to know your type, date around. I'm like, my friend told me that. She's like, Hannah, you can connect with anyone.
Right.
And you need to realize, you can't just think that the first person, you get along with is the one. You have to just, for me, what I'm working on is finding my sense of self. Right. Knowing that I still got to heal and get myself right, because
if you don't love yourself, you cannot love somebody else.
Yeah, so don't date around. Learn how to love yourself and be happy in your own space, in your own sense of self. And then once you feel like you're ready, then know what you want out of that and attract it.
I feel like once you're done doing the self-exploration, the self-love, you finally get in tune with your mind, I feel like you would be so much more better off finding somebody after the fact, because you know what truly makes you happy. You know what you're not going to stand for. You know what you're not going to put up with. You know your standards, and you know
Exactly.
your self-worth. So why would you dumb yourself down? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like that whole balance is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Yeah. That's so important. Girl, that's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, balance. And I feel like a lot of girls don't do that.
They don't love themselves before they get into relationships.
No, yeah. I feel like a lot of, well, I mean, maybe not a lot of girls. I think a lot of people don't do that. I feel like that's why relationships get this shitty reputation now.
Yeah.
Now in these, you know, this generation or whatever the hell's going on. I seen a meme the other day and it was like, whatever the fuck is in the air, it needs to pass or something like that.
That's so true. What's going on? I don't like any of the message they're promoting about dating. It's just
right.
Like, but maybe that is because we're in meme culture where people's principles and truths literally do come from memes. So
they start to live by that shit, right? Because they fucking see that shit. Okay.
Makes sense. That's why divorce rates are getting higher and higher. People aren't getting married. Hookup culture is like the most popular thing. You want to know one of the top ways we're going to die 10 years from now? STDs.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, okay, so how could we save the world in the future? Well, don't be a
Stay
hoe.
abstinent.
Yeah, there we go. Like, don't be a hoe. They're saying sleep around. Don't sleep around. Fall in love. And as much as it's the most...
Okay, well, give me someone to fall in love with. No, I'm just kidding.
Literally, like, that's... But no, breaking up after you fall in love.
Yeah, I feel like love right now in society is... It has a different meaning.
Yeah.
You know, it has a different meaning. I feel like love is, how would you say, understated, or it's an understatement or something like that. I just feel like it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know, how did I say it to this one person? You know, there's so much more back in the day in our, you know, growing up. Love was, you know, the marriage, the family
was the goal.
You know, it was what everybody wanted in life. But I feel like the society fucked it up for us down along the lines, because with the standards and you have to do this and you have to do that, and I don't know, it's just marriage is not the same now.
Exactly. And that's why, gosh, I don't know what I think about it anymore.
Like, what's the point of getting married if you're gonna sign a prenup?
You don't agree with those
stuff? I mean, it's interesting to me though. It very much is interesting.
It's almost saying like,
I wouldn't marry somebody if I felt the need to sign a prenup.
You know what's funny?
But I guess that's for rich people.
Yeah. But see, life is so unpredictable. I believe you should take a risk at that marriage. And a prenup is like insurance.
Oh, like Kim K.
Yeah, but it's like saying we're going to get married, but just in case we don't, because in that case, don't get married.
Because you know what? Divorce rates are fucking high as shit.
Yeah. I know someone who's really hard on getting a prenup once he gets married.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Yeah, I guess.
But I get it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean though. See, okay, that's what I mean. The meaning of love is very different, because back then in the olden times there was no prenups, or was there?
No.
Was there always prenups?
No,
it wasn't the normal thing to do. I
didn't know what it was then. So
it wasn't the
normal.
It wasn't the normal thing to do back then. You know, in the olden times of the good, happy, married, stay-at-home mom type, work my ass off all day dad type shit. Now it's normal to get a prenup. I totally agree with you on that one. It's normal to get a prenup. It's normal to get divorced. It's freaking normal. I mean, depending on where you're.
It's normal to cheat.
Yes,
it's very, very normal to cheat. I did not realize that. Yeah. I'm learning that a lot of people cheat, and I'm like, okay, cool. I did not know that.
A lot of people like normalize it, not realizing they're normalizing it.
Yeah, if you cheat, you're a hoe. You're bad.
You're fucking horrible.
You give people trauma. You're the worst kind of people. So if you're a cheater, just break up with your girl or your boy and save you both the trauma, and you both can move on and have hope for your life.
I'm not gonna lie, I cheated.
That's okay. because you're single now, so you obviously gave them a chance to move on and live their life.
It's elevating, folks. So we elevate.
We elevate. So
we don't do that no
but
more.
you fixed the problem by breaking up. I love that you just threw that in there.
Well, fuck, I can't, we can't talk about cheating. I mean, if we're not being honest.
But you did the right thing. Like, I don't know how it ended, but you're not with that person anymore. What I think is the fault is when you cheat and 10 years down the line, you're still cheating. And it's like you're both robbing each other from true happiness unless you agree to be open, which we both know that never works.
So used to the comfortability. So used to the routine. So some people, that may be their excuse. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, my problem is I try to find a perspective that can speak to the majority of what is right, but everyone is so different, and I just can't imagine a couple ever being okay or down to cheat on each other. I'm just like, you're lying to yourself.
Okay, so what do you think about monogamy?
Monogamy. I'm just thinking about that song. It's called Bad.
Oh yeah, the Wale song. Oh, I love Wale.
Yeah. And he's like, monogamy ain't for everybody. Monogamy is same love, same partner in a relationship, right? Bringing up words you don't know. Here's the thing.
Well, I was listening to what was it? A podcast, and the guys were very in much disagreement with the girls. They were talking about monogamy. Monogamy meaning the way they put it is when you're in an open relationship, pretty much.
So you're a cheater, but it's okay.
Yes.
Okay. No.
Okay.
But that's because Will Smith and Jada Smith
were
in a non-monogamous relationship or an open relationship, if I got the word wrong. And it looked like it was going great. They were both accepting of it, but obviously it didn't work out. Like, they were both playing games with each other, and you can tell they're all about how they look. Like, they're all about their image.
So they had to play that shit off.
They had to play it off because he's just like, and he's a kind of a softie. Like, he's just like, oh, my wife, she was going through stuff.
Sweep you under the rug.
Yeah, but I'm like, she did that because he wasn't being a man to her. He was just letting her do whatever she wants. And like, I want a man that doesn't want me with another person. Otherwise, I don't want to be with him.
Right.
And I don't want to be with someone who can be with someone else. Otherwise, I don't want him. If he wants to be with another girl, bye. If you don't think like that, then you must not really love your person.
Unless they're rich.
Unless they're rich. And money money buys happiness, you can get a lot. You can get where you want to go. However, I am young, and I have to remember I've never been married. I haven't even been in a very long relationship. And I've seen my parents, who are rare breeds because they've had a very healthy relationship, which is rare. And I can't imagine, I couldn't fathom either of them messing up because I don't have to. If I saw something else, maybe I'd have a different perspective because I'm open-minded enough to. I just don't think the heart was meant to be with multiple people like that in an intimate manner.
I felt that, especially.
I want my kids to have a mom and a dad that they don't have to see change,
Right.
And I think like I would put up with a lot of problems for them to have both of us. But we'll see, because I'm a baby. I'm a little baby. I don't know about that stuff, and I just pray to God that, I get to have love like that one day. I
know. Don't we all?
We all do. We just want that, like, home.
That white picket fence.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, not a fence, but, a house.
Yeah. No, definitely. I definitely agree.
Because you saw multiple parents.
I did see multiple parents. I actually, technically speaking, I haven't. But I got to cross a couple different paths. I should say, yes. That is very interesting that you said that. So I think what you're referring to
got me in that intro, you're welcome.
I was raised how should I say this? With an amazing dad who was biologically not my dad. And that was a very interesting journey to go through. To be honest, now looking back, I think I overcame it very well.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning, I always wondered why I had a different last name. I always wondered why my last name was longer and it consisted because it was hyphened.
Yeah.
And nobody else had it.
No one explained that to you?
No, well, not for the longest time that I recall. The first time that I was really in tune with it, I think I was like in 5th grade. And I was like, why do I have a different last name? Why is it so long? I hate writing it out.
Dang.
And I asked my mom, and she had told me that I had a different dad than all my other siblings. And I already knew that a couple of my siblings had different dads, and I was okay with it. But me personally, I thought that my father that I've known my whole entire life was my biological father, and he wasn't.
How old were you? 12 years old?
Yeah.
Dang.
5th grade. Yeah, 12. I don't remember crying. Because I was just so secure about who my dad was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember crying because I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at my childhood. I wasn't mad at anything like that because, like I said, I was really secure with who my father was.
Mm-hmm.
My mom made that a point, for me to understand that. And to be honest, my dad, the one that I grew up with, that's my dad. That's that's the only father I know.
Yeah.
So finding that out, it didn't really I don't want to say it didn't shock me because it really did shock me, but it didn't affect me how I thought it was going to affect me. I was just curious and nosy, and I was Googling his name, my biological father's name. I was Googling my last name. I asked my 6th grade teacher to help me Google his name at school.
Whoa.
And she was helping me take notes, write names, addresses, in 6th grade.
So you immediately became curious about who your biological father was?
Yes.
So that feeling always arises no matter who you are or how you were raised, because I just did an interview with an adoptee, and as soon as he found out that his parents weren't his biological parents, he immediately was like, I need to know who they are. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what makes you have to be curious? But it's just this part of you that you don't know.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. There's a part of me that I don't know. And to be honest, still to this day, I don't know. I've never met him. I've never seen him face to face. But I still feel like there's something missing.
I'm sorry. I thought you did meet him.
No, I've never met him.
Whoa.
My biological dad. I've never met him. I came close to it. I literally sat outside his house.
Okay, that's what I remember. Like
and
something.
Yeah, he never came outside.
Did he know you were there?
Yeah. I know my biological brothers and my sisters. I have met my grandmother. I have met my aunt. I have met one aunt and one uncle. And which is like my biological father's real like brother and sister. And but I've never met him.
Wow.
And I think, to me, it's still something that I would be open to doing. But I can't rush it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to say this whole situation, I was very open-minded. I wanted to go meet them. I wanted to go see what the hell it was all about, what's funny? I thought the whole time, up until I found out I had a biological father, I thought I was a Filipino.
Man, you really didn't know these, like...
So I was telling everybody, like, I'm Guamanian and Filipino. And I found out later, like, no, the fuck you ain't. You Mexican, fool.
But you could have known.
No, I didn't. I had no... I mean, I
You
knew
never
I
felt
was mixed.
Mexican? You never got along with Mexicans a little different?
Oh, yeah, of course I did. But at that time, after the fact I found out I was Mexican, I felt Mexican, you know? I made myself Mexican.
You straight up learned Spanish.
Yeah, I know. Literally, it was like the Mexican came natural after I found out that. So it was just so funny. I don't know how it came out, but like when people see me now, they're like, "No, you're Mexican." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm half."
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, "No, I'm Guamanian." And
yeah.
I'm just like, because it's just what all I've never known. But to go back to that, yeah, I did find out later on that I was not Filipino, and it was just so funny because all my siblings look Asian as shit. And it never dawned on me. Because, like I said, we were just so close. They never, ever, ever made me feel, you know, like I was different.
Yeah.
They never, the whole, my, you know, if you want to call it stepdad, I don't call him my stepdad, but, that whole family, you know, they knew that I wasn't, you know, blood or whatever. They took me in like nothing, you know. They made me feel like I was, because I am, you know, I am. And it's just funny because a lot of the times when we're out in public, they're asking, oh, who's related, and they always point out that I look different and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't get offended because it's like, you know, I mean, everybody says it, everybody notices it. That's the first thing that they notice. They're like, you're not related. That's not your brother. That's not your sister.
People straight up say that?
Yeah, but I'm like, I swear I just take after my sperm donor.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I swear, I'm just like, don't. But yeah, they just made me feel like, so it was never uncomfortable. It was all I've ever known. So now that I have opened, I think I was around 16 when I met my siblings, my biological siblings.
Who took you over there?
My aunt.
That's cool.
She met me out in San Jose. I met her out in San Jose at the airport. She flew us out to LA to my sister's wedding. And my sister was in LA. She was another branch that we kind of found along when we found each other, my siblings. So my brother, he messaged my cousin messaged me and said, I found your brother, he's looking for you. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He was looking
like,
for you too?
Yeah, he was.
Did that
looking
blow your
for me.
mind?
Yes. And till this day, me and him are like this. Like, that's my dog. Yeah, and so I was just like so shocked because I was like, what? Like, I have a brother and more brothers. I have 4 brothers already. Like, I'm not gonna be able to handle more. But they're like the coolest thing, and they look like me.
Dang.
They look like me, and I'm just like, it was really interesting opening up the conversation with my stepdad, well, quote unquote stepdad, about meeting them, because honestly I was really scared that he was going to be hurt. I was really scared that he was going to feel like I was trying to replace him. I was really scared that I was going to hurt his feelings, but to be honest, he took it really well. What did he say? He told me it was something that I needed to do. You know, it was something that, you know, I was deserving to do. You know, I deserve to know who is my, you know, blood. And that just made it so much more enjoyable, you know, just letting him know that, and then him having the comfortability, you know, to allow me to do that. Because honestly, if he would have said no, I wouldn't have went, you know?
Yeah. You wouldn't have?
I wouldn't have.
Oh, wow.
I don't think so. Yeah. because that's my dad.
Yeah.
What he says goes. And so after the fact, though, it was just awesome growing with them over the years. Like, one of my brothers recently came down for my daughter's birthday party. Like, our families intertwined. Like, we got to know each other. We've taken several trips back and forth. They live up in Lodi and in Galt. So, and then my sister's, of course, in LA. But I just talked to her the other day. Like, we have really good relationships.
Dang.
And
You got a lot of siblings.
yeah, my family just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So that was like 6 brothers now.
Wow.
And 3 sisters. But I mean, they're all half, but they're my brothers.
You see them a lot,
yeah.
too. Like, more than blood sees each other, like
Yeah.
100 blood.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I love them, though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to hear that, because, like, when those situations are going down, like when the babies are babies, and you always wonder, like, shoot, are you going to want to know who your parents are one day? Are you ever going to want to meet this guy? Or, like, my ex, you ever going to want to get to know him? Maybe not, but if he has kids, they might meet each other. And the fact that, like, it all played a full circle where you got to, like, have your family, find your peace.
Right.
And maybe you'll meet your dad one day, maybe not, but you got to meet the other part of you that you were curious about.
That I felt. I feel like there was such a gap in there, and I felt like I was missing something. But when I met them, it didn't feel it all the way, because I still that way do honestly feel like I still want to meet him. But
is he not ready?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't conversate with him at all. I don't even think my siblings really they don't really talk to him a lot either.
Oh, that makes sense.
But if there's a will, there's a way. I just have to wait it out, but may or may not happen. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Have you met people that have had that same curiosity to meeting their biological parents before?
To be honest, no.
Wow.
Not really.
It's rare.
I haven't really came across a lot of people like that that have biological parents that they don't know. I feel like I know all my friends' parents, all my cousins. Oh, man. Yeah, now that I'm running through the list in my head.
Yeah, isn't that crazy though?
Yeah,
so
and it's very different.
I just interviewed someone who's an adoptee, and he's 61 years old and still, like, going through the motions of finding more about his story. And now he's really sharing his story, but, like, he had to be a whole detective finding different parts of his family into his adulthood. Just like, okay, where's my dad? Where's my mom? Connecting the dots. How can I find this? And just connecting with this whole new family.
Definitely.
It's something that people don't really experience unless you do,
Yeah. It's definitely a game, a puzzle. It's like that. It's like, what's that one Ancestry.com shit?
Yeah.
They send the DNA in and then they get it back. I don't know. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah. You should. I don't want to. I like knowing I'm half Mexican, Guamanian, and Filipino. Like, keep it simple. I don't want to find something else in there. I'm like, what?
What the
heck?
You're like, Mom?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of curiosity that I have still with that situation, but I feel like if I were to see him in person, I feel like I would just be like his friend. I wouldn't even feel like I would be like his daughter, or I would be longing to, like, want something. I feel like I would just be like, hey, what's up?
He'd probably feel like you would have this obligation for him to play father role, which he wouldn't know how to play.
And I don't want that.
Yeah, but how does he know? Like, that's so a hard thing for even him to think, because he doesn't know you. You don't know him. There's a curiosity there, but it's like, what if you were like that? And all of a sudden he's just in a place where he's not ready to be a father. It's weird to navigate on both ends.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there's a lot of, like, blind sights about that too. He doesn't know. I don't know. He doesn't want to talk. I don't know. Maybe sometimes I don't want to talk. It's different. We'll get there though. We'll get there. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned
for that one. I'll fill you in.
I want to go full circle back to cheating.
Okay.
I think we need to go back into that.
Okay.
To me, I think I have to correct what I said. I said straight up, if you're a cheater, you're a bad person. And I'm like, my mom calls me on this. She's like, Hannah, you're being way too extreme and unrealistic. And I need to be called out. But it's like one of those things where growing up, having sex before marriage was very bad. And according to statistics, only 3% actually wait to have sex before marriage. So to say that, it's almost like, that's cute, but it's just not the reality. So
definitely not.
Yeah. I guess I'll ask you this, so I'll just be like, yeah, you're not a bad person if you do that. You're a human, and there's a lot of things that humans do that if you could change it, that'd be cool. But let's see. What do you think is a good thing for someone to do if they're tempted to cheat?
What is a good thing to do for somebody?
If you are tempted to cheat.
Ooh.
Look at the camera if you'd like. Say it straight to their face as they're scrolling. No.
I think the best thing for you to do is tell your person that you want to cheat. That's the best thing. That's the first thing that pops into mind, honestly.
Really?
That's the first thing that pops into mind. Because how are you going to fix something and you don't even know that it's happening? You know, I feel like it's something that nobody wants to talk about. It's something that nobody wants to hear, period. Hey, I want to cheat on you. But I feel like now in society, what lacks the most is communication with a lot of relationships. And I feel like, you know, well, why do you want to fucking cheat? Like, the fuck, like, you know, I feel like a lot of shit should be spoken about. And hey, if you tell your partner, I want to cheat on you, they'll be like, well, let's have a threesome. And then they're just going to, like, live a jolly life. Like,
there's a solution.
You know, you just never know. You just never know, honestly, what's going to happen. You never know. I mean, that's on.
Or if you can talk it out with that person. Like, okay,
or you
let's
can
establish
talk
boundaries.
out of cheating, you know. I feel like it goes back to harsh realities, you know, like you have to face harsh realities to get through the mud. And that's another harsh reality. Hey, you ain't cutting it, or I want to cheat on you. Okay, well, I want to cheat on you too. Let's have a monogamous relationship and be happy. Like, okay, then let's.
So you think a monogamous non or
a monogamy? I mean, I don't agree with it. I would never do it, but it's just so normalized.
So
now.
you think someone can really be with the one they're supposed to be with and be in an open relationship?
No, I don't agree with it.
But you think some people are still doing it even though they're not truly happy? I think that's what it is too. Like,
they don't want to call it what it is.
Yeah. Or maybe you live together and it's like your living situation works. They like your family.
Yeah.
So, but I don't really like you like that. So I'm going to go sleep around. Or I found someone else that I get along with, but we'll keep it low key.
Then just fucking stay single.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are caught up in the right thing to do and what they want to do. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like they're like worried about, I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Well, what the fuck about your feelings? You're the one confused over there thinking you want to cheat, nigga. Like, I don't understand, you know? And that's just the thing that's like, you have to have those uncomfortable conversations.
And I think that's like a big thing where there's the right thing to do and then the thing that actually goes down and then there's the lie. And then it's like, well, if you're not going to do the right thing, then just, you know, don't do the lie. So just be like, I think there's so much refreshingness in that, just someone being painfully honest, because I've heard painful honesty and I'm like, ugh, it hurts, but thanks, I did need to know.
Yeah.
So I guess that is the cure, because I've met a lot of people who've been cheated on, and they're like, it just makes you feel like you're so worthless. It makes you feel like you're not good enough. It makes you feel so like terrible inside, like there's something wrong with you. And then I've met people who've been through breakups, and that's a whole different emotional state where they're like, oh, F him, or they're just like, I wish it would have worked out, but it didn't. And both of those are somewhat better emotions than not knowing what's wrong with you and feeling disgusting inside. And that's why it's like,
Because that's the first thing that you say. You know, what the fuck? I'm not enough.
I'm not enough. And that's the worst thing for someone to feel. I was going to say girls, but to feel not enough as a man and to feel not enough as a woman is both very painful.
Yeah.
Why couldn't I cut it for him? Why wasn't I enough for him? Or what made her want to do that? Why am I not enough? To avoid someone, to keep someone from saying that is true love. If you love someone, don't let them question their own worth by putting them in that situation. Just simply say, hey, I think our time is up now. For now.
Oh, so painful. But yes, it's so true.
Yeah, I love
tear.
Gotta go listen to some like YG or Giveon. Giveon's songs are so sad.
They're so tragic.
Yeah.
Oh, God. The Angel Wings song. That one always gets me. Or no, I think it's like Pretty Wings.
His whole album.
So sad. Why are you so sad, Giveon?
I know. It feels so good to be sad sometimes.
So what's your hype up song right now?
Good Love.
Ooh!
You showed me that one. I have another one. It's called like Antioch.
We need to do like a TikTok dance to that.
Let's go do it right now. Wait, do you know Antioch? Antioch?
No, Antioch?
Antioch. That's how you say it. But anyway, well, I have like 3 hype songs like that. I just did this gym workout thing and I was like trying to find my music and I literally listened to the same 4 songs right now. Number 1 is Good Love. Another one is something from YG's new album,
Toxic.
Yes. But that one gets me in my feels. It gets me a little sad.
At first it gets me pumped up and then I'm like, fuck. when the YG part comes on.
Yeah, it's too sad for me.
Oh gosh.
Oh, and then Pilo. That's my homie.
Oh yes.
I love Pilo. Power by Pilo. That song gets me hyped.
Oh, I'm gonna listen to it right now.
I listen to club music when I'm in my car. Like if I need to stay awake and it just hits the spot.
I'm gonna do that.
And R&B. Ooh.
This is like the best music to smoke to.
Yeah. What's your hype song right now?
Oh my god, I don't even know. I just have so many. Tell a Ratchet.
What was that one song by like Set It Off?
Set It Off.
Set It Off in the street. You by Lil Kayla.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dang, yeah, Sisca showed me this one for sure.
Of course.
All right, well I think it's time for our music time.
Yes, it is time for our music time. Let's get to it.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story, for being transparent and like bringing light to maybe not having biological parents living with you and discovering that journey, yet still having love for everyone through the process and bringing light to single moms and things that they go through, like struggles that they face that you moms don't get enough credit. You're raising the next generation. So thank you for your honesty and your transparency and bringing light to the culture and just, for being there for me. I truly do love you. And I'm just thankful that we've gotten closer and you've been someone who's spoken into my life a lot and you're continuing to and keeping me hyped and keeping me in that like good headspace energy. And I'm really thankful for that. So you're a real one. You keep me elevating.
I'm so excited for you on this journey. I'm so excited for you to discover your own intuitions and your own self outlooks and your own struggles and all that stuff. So congratulations on what episode is this?
This is number 5.
5. Okay. Okay. On Big 5.
Big 5. Yeah, All right. Well, thank you for listening. Stay tuned. Comment, like, subscribe, share, and show some love to the show. Goodbye.
Keep elevating.
Keep elevating.